Howdy, my name is Megan Stevens. Welcome to my online portfolio. I'd like to give you a summary of the work I've done throughout this master's program and how it has driven me professionally and personally. The authors Stowell and Mead stated that the power of applied strategic thinking is finding the best way to incorporate these tools into your unique environment. When we deliberately explore what goals we wish to attain for ourselves in our lives, a roadmap emerges, leading us to the ultimate destination of satisfaction and fulfillment. The target is your strategic intent. Strategic thinking is focused on the future rather than simply reacting to what is happening today. The process of applying strategic thinking to our personal and professional life is detailed and requires self-exploration and deep thought, but results in confidence and focus for us in reaching our chosen goals. This graduate program has led me to produce my own strategic career plan. One of the main takeaways I gleaned from this program was the importance of identifying my personal career goals. This was an interesting exercise for me to deliberately consider my goals before focusing on increasing my skills. I realized that I could have wasted a lot of time, effort, and money by increasing my skills first, rather than identifying my goals and figuring out what skills I needed to achieve them. I want to note that a holistic approach to reaching our goals is important. This means that we should be building our character as we work consciously to make ourselves into more effective, adaptable, thoughtful people through our purposeful daily duties and actions. Being mindful of the person we become as we develop a pattern of ethics and character is imperative to our satisfaction and success. The way in which we perform our duties is perhaps even more important than the duties themselves. This master's program at A&M has reiterated these points and drilled home the importance of personal strategy and professional strategy, which I appreciate greatly. My career in human resource management consists of over 10 years as the human resources director for a city with a population of roughly 5,000 people. As the sole person with any kind of HR function in the organization, I'm proud of the steps that I was able to take to improve the organization in terms of legal compliance, employee satisfaction, retention, efficiency, and effectiveness. I enjoy strategically streamlining processes that are dysfunctional. I also have a strong interest in personality types as they relate to professional success. I believe it is important for organizations to understand what drives their employees individually, and for them to strategically use this information to better the company and the employee simultaneously. Relating to what I discussed earlier, success in life is rooted in aligning our actions with our values until our choices flow naturally and without calculation from our character. Stephen Covey says that being mindful of the person we become as we develop a pattern of ethics and character is imperative to our satisfaction and success. I have read Covey's most famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Because of his work, I have decided for myself that the way for me to align my goals, actions, and values is to put the needs of my family first, while simultaneously meeting my professional and financial needs. I am a capable mother and human resource professional, and both roles bring me great joy and satisfaction. Achieving both comfortably and successfully would be the culmination of my personal and professional goals. While I greatly enjoy being a stay-at-home mother, I am looking forward to being intellectually engaged by using my knowledge to assist organizations in improving their processes. By maintaining a healthy home and work-life balance, I will optimize my satisfaction in both areas, leading to a happier home with less stress. Stowell and Mead stated that your strategic target isn't going to magically show up on your doorstep as a result of intense thinking or wishing. They stress the importance of action and mobilization. My original career goals were put on hold over the last 10 years as I reacted to multiple major life events that required my immediate attention. The experience of engaging in this master's degree program has been enlightening, motivating, empowering, and refreshing. I had fallen into a pattern of reacting rather than anticipating and planning. I have been deeply motivated by this process, which has made me realize that my goals are not just dreams, but potential realities attainable by methodic, strategic, purposeful planning. My portfolio is organized into 3 sections: Foundations, Adult Learning, and Human Resource Development. I'd like to walk you through each section briefly and describe my reasoning for including the samples that I have chosen. The first section is Foundations. In order to build a strong castle, you must have a firm foundation. The courses in this section, 603 and 627, are excellent examples of courses that became pillars of information for me to build on throughout the duration of this program. 603, Applied Theoretical Foundations in Human Resource Development, focused on the challenges of a supervisory position. In this course, I worked with a group to evaluate the effectiveness of training programs at LensCrafters. Executives at the company wanted evidence to show whether investment in renovating their training programs was worthwhile. Our group suggested that the current training programs be evaluated for knowledge and skill gaps, and then new ones designed around Kirkpatrick's evaluation framework, which assesses training efforts using 4 criteria: reaction, learning, behavior, and results. The skills I learned and practiced in this course are fundamental to HR functions across the board and in every industry. I appreciated the practical applicability of the skills I learned in this course. The second course in the Foundation section is 627, Research and Development in Human Resource Development. This course taught us how to critically evaluate articles and studies and how to interpret the data and ask questions of our own. A little healthy skepticism goes a long way when it comes to the interpretation of data, as you can see in the article critique I included for this course. One of the most important elements we were taught to be mindful of was personal bias. It is actually astounding to me how many articles I have read since taking this course that show subtle or even blatant bias. I am now very mindful of my own word choice when writing so as not to appear biased in any way. The second section of my portfolio is Adult Learning. These courses were my favorite. Every one was directly applicable to the work I have done in the past, and I learned quite a lot about myself and the way that I learn best, but also how to help others discover their own strengths and preferences in learning. Career Development in EHRD was an excellent course that focused on methods, practices, and techniques to improve personal and organizational outcomes. One of my favorite assignments from this course was the peer coaching assignment. We were paired with another student to assess career goals and make suggestions for achieving them. I loved this 360-degree assignment because I learned both by coaching my partner and by receiving constructive criticism and suggestions. 616, Methods of Teaching Adults, focused on the unique needs of the adult learner and provided instructional design strategies for meeting those needs. I loved this course as well because andragogical needs are both similar and different from pedagogical strategies. Both of my parents are K-12 educators, so it was really interesting for me to see the connections and disparities of the two. The document I have attached here is my all-time favorite throughout the whole program, the Personal Self-Evaluation. This assignment forced me to think critically about my own skills, weaknesses, and goals, and to plan my actions accordingly throughout the next few years. I expect to keep this document on hand and adjust it as necessary, and I love that it is something that I can and will refer back to frequently. EHRD 630, Adult Learning, was a continuation of 616 and built on the factors influencing adult learning as well as adult learning theories and research on the topic. I included a learning analysis project we did in this course that was so much fun. I got to see my own learning style in action and critically analyze it in real time. This was such a neat assignment and totally out of the box for this program. I really found it effective and refreshing. The third section of my portfolio is Human Resource Development. These courses heavily impacted my outlook on adult education. Somewhat more technical in nature, these courses built upon adult education theories and reinforced the importance of keeping these theories in mind as we design training and development programs and in our strategic planning activities. Training and development is a major part of HRD, and this was the focus of EHRD 612. This course taught us valuable conceptual tools, which we will continuously use to develop and design effective training for adult learners specifically. In this particular example I have provided, we evaluated the unique needs of remote employees when it comes to staying engaged in training and advancement opportunities. This assignment was important for me especially because I hope to work remotely in the near future. Strategic Planning in HRD, EHRD 614. In my opinion, this course was definitely one of the most valuable courses in the program. In it, we learned the importance of having a cohesive plan and vision for our organizations and our personal careers. What I appreciated most about this class was how it tied organizational goals to personal goals, which was refreshing and different from the common management standpoint of do as I say, not as I do. This point was drilled home in the assignment sample I've included here, my personal strategic career plan. This exercise was both difficult and empowering for me because up until that point, I hadn't clearly defined my personal career goals. After the assignment was completed, I realized that specific career goals are necessary to guide my professional development and keep me from wandering aimlessly in a professional sense. Evaluation Models in HRD 618 was another of my favorite courses because it was a great combination of technical and theoretical connections that are directly applicable to HRD function in the real world. I have included a group project in which we evaluated a real organization to determine whether it was using its resources effectively to fulfill its expressed mission. We also analyzed the organization's written materials, training opportunities, and community relations activities, and suggested areas of improvement to help the organization bolster its effectiveness. This project was an excellent demonstration of how we applied theoretical concepts we learned in this master's program to a real-life scenario. The last class I included in this section is Organization Development and Performance in HRD, EHRD 625. Focusing on organizational change and the theories, concepts, skills, and techniques required to make changes effectively, this course was also a great journey in applying the knowledge we have gained in this program to real organizational needs. The major project in this class was to select a real organization and assess an issue it has, then offer suggestions for fixing the problem. Our team chose to evaluate a police department for its high rate of attrition. From start to finish, we evaluated the organization and how its demographics, location, budget, and local amenities affected the high turnover rate. This project was actually turned into the agency so that they could take our findings into consideration to remedy their issue. So, thank you again for visiting my online portfolio and taking the time to review my samples. I am so appreciative of the opportunity to have participated in the EHRD Master's Program at Texas A&M. The faculty and curriculum far exceeded my expectations in every way. I am proud of the work I have achieved with their attentive guidance, and I will never forget the impact each of them has had on me.